Very happy to see all of you on a fabulously special day. So there are a lot of things coming together this morning for that will really support this being. I'm going to overpromise and hopefully not underdeliver a life-altering yoga practice. And the reason I say that is because number one, we have just spent 2 full days under an incredible full moon. And no matter where you are, even if you've been in snowy weather, you've noticed that gorgeous, big, full moon, which is the last full moon of winter. And she has been blessing us with this gift of completion. Full moons are about finishing something, right? Completing something. So in this practice, I just invite you to just be with that. Like, what are you ready to let the moon take away, take with her, be complete about? The other thing that I'm bringing to you today, I just did a weekend training refreshing my Reiki knowledge and practice, and Reiki is energy work. And so I am just buzzing with energy this morning. I am buzzing with these vibrations of just prana and life and vitality. And I hope to share some of that with you today through these pranayama practices while we're moving our bodies. Finally, Julie Bush is starting her 50th trip around the sun today, her 49th birthday. And I think almost all of you know Julie and what an incredible human being she is and what she offers to our lives. And so we're going to be celebrating with Julie as she steps into this next year of her life. She's asked for no push-ups, but what I'll do is give you 7 sets of 7, and you can choose push-ups or I'll offer a core exercise instead of. Okay? All right. Let's get started just for a few moments seated. If you saw my Facebook post, I advertised this as a breathing class with a side of movement. So we will be incorporating a lot of pranayama or breath practices, breath work. So what I'd like you to do first of all is just simply sit and notice that you're breathing. Notice that breath is happening. This precious act, this first thing you did when you arrived on this planet, you took a breath. You opened yourself to a breath. You didn't even know it. And since that time, there have been millions of breaths and hopefully millions more. And the very last act you will perform as a human being is you will give a breath. So right here in this moment is your whole life, receiving and giving, receiving and giving. I'd like you to bring your hands together in front of your body, and we're going to rub our hands together vigorously to create a little bit of heat. The practice of Reiki usually involves a practitioner bringing energy through their hands and helping you with your energy field. And today we'll be using our own hands. So you're feeling this heat. This is your internal combustion, your energy. As you rub your hands for a few more seconds, I want you to just put some words into your hands that are kind of like an intention. Kindness, love, compassion, maybe even a wish for Julie for her birthday. And then take a deep breath in, pause, and place both hands over your whole face, softly and tenderly, and just let your hands bathe your face in this energy of the words you just put into your hands. Allow your breath to become deeper. The inhale and the exhale are equal in timing and in volume. Allow this breath to fill your whole body and allow your body to feel these words coming from your hands. Maybe it's just one word today, one word intention. Let your body absorb that. And slowly lower your hands back in front of your heart. And we'll begin by bringing ourselves into child's pose. So go ahead and use any props that you have around you that help you feel more comfortable. Wiggle around a little bit. Stretch your arms out long overhead. Move side to side. Let this be a coming home, a rooting down. The words you chose will travel with us through this practice. Let your body absorb those words here in this shape as you stretch your fingers longer, kind of claw your hands into the earth. And then bring yourself up to a tabletop position, stacking your joints for cat and cow. You can just close your eyes and move with generous, flowy movements. As you inhale, just receiving the power of these words. And as you exhale, offering the power of these words. Tuck your toes, press your hips back, and lift into downward facing dog. You can also do this on your elbows, your forearms in dolphin pose. And go ahead and pedal your heels left and right. Spine is long, breath is full. Start to breathe now into your belly. Let your belly expand with this next breath. And on the exhale, spring your belly button in to push breath out. Take a slow walk forward. Come into ragdoll. Feet a little wider, knees soft. Let yourself hang down here for a few breaths. And then let your hands come to the back of your head. We're going to interlace our fingers. Let the thumbs gently massage the back of the neck. The skull just kind of reaching down, the hips lifting high. Breathe in and breathe out here. You can feel your belly pressing onto your legs. Let your fingertips come to the floor. Put a bigger bend in your knees and lengthen through the crown of your head. With this flat back, straighten your legs as much as you can and then bend them again. Just gonna work through the backs of your knees here with a little bit of patience, a little gentleness. do this 2 more times. You might notice that the back of your legs are loosening up a bit. And with a soft bend in those knees, sweep your arms all the way up, extended mountain. Gather your hands in front of your heart. And do that 2 more times. Reach up, deep breath, extended mountain. And pull in. Reach up. Good, and pull in. Rub your hands together again. Create a little heat here, and while you're doing that, root down through both feet. Root down through the soles of your feet and stand even taller. We're going to introduce Ujjayi breath, which is that H sound. So take a deep breath in and make the H sound as you exhale. Now we're going to do that with our mouth closed. So take your hands over your ears. Inhale. Press your ears and make that H sound. You can still hear me. Do that a few times. It's going to sound like you're breathing underwater. And release your hands to your sides, but keep that breath going, that Ujjayi sound breath. Inhale, arms reach slowly overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose and drop to your knees. So I'm going to introduce the first set of 7 options. You can either do 7 yogi push-ups right here. If you'd like to take a core challenge instead, we're going to come to elbows. We're going to tuck our toes and knees come into belly. And right and left is 1, 2. So go ahead and do your push-ups or your core. We have 7. When you have done that, drop your body to the earth. Come up into cobra. Take a nice deep breath. And press back into child's pose. Knees wide, arms extended. Let your forehead come to either the floor or a block, and gently roll your forehead from side to side. Just massage that brow point, your place of intuition. Breathe in the word that you've chosen for today and offer it out. Return to tabletop, tuck your toes, and lift into downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath, breath that you can hear and also feel in your belly. Enjoying blood flow to the brain, clarity. Walk forward. Bring your hands to your shins and lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Soft knees, scoop the arms up high, extended mountain, maybe even a little back bend, and then hands to heart. Let's go through that again. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, drop your knees, set 2 7 yogi push-ups, or lower yourself to your elbows and we'll do swimming dolphin 7 times. So that's down to elbow plank and up high. Julie wanted core today, and she is the birthday girl, so I can tell her thank you. When you have reached 7, lower to the ground and lift to cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath. Walk or hop to the top of your mat, lift halfway, and on your exhale, catch the back of your heels and pull into a little deeper stretch. Soft knees, sweep the arms up, little back bend, and bring your hands to your heart. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank pose. Drop your knees. You can take yogi push-ups or join me on elbows. Lift your knees and we'll tap the toes off the side of the mat. Right and left is 1. We've got 7. Set number 3. Keep your low belly in. Drop your knees and press back, child's pose. Reconnect to that steady, slow breath. Tuck the toes under, lift up into downward facing dog. And slowly bring your feet to meet your hands and lift halfway. Exhale, fold down. Let your head dangle here, let your spine lengthen. And with soft knees, sweep the arms up, extended mountain. Bring your hands to your heart. Pause and notice your breath, your body, and your energy. Inhale your words and offer it out. We're going to step to the wide side of our mats. And we're going to reach out into a 5-pointed star and come down into this moon goddess or moon flow. We'll do a few just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good, and then combine that with a sunflower, which is a little deeper. So sunflower will sweep the fingers to the floor, the chest stays lifted, the back is flat. Really hear the sound of your breath as if you still had your hands over your ears, like a seashell. Now we'll alternate, so 1 moon squat, 1 sunflower. Putting the sun and moon together like yin, yang, ha and tha, which is hatha yoga, sun and moon. And if you want, you can go a little bit faster, build a little bit of heat. This alternate strength in the back, strength in the front. See if you can feel that, the opposites. One more of each. And reach your fingers high. Gather in all that amazing energy. Pull it into your heart. Pause. Reconnect with breath. Shift toward your right foot and come into a lunge position. Let's drop our left knee to the ground. We're going to use our hands again in a little different way. So let's first find hip flexor and then press up on this front knee. Check in with your low back. For some of us, having the hips down here puts a little strain in the back so you can be more upright. We're going to put two hands on the back of the head. One is just above the neck and the other is closer to the top of the head. So the hands are kind of stacked like that. And you're going to cradle your head as you lean back. Breathe. Feel the support and the energy of your hands. Elbows wide, chest lifted. Deep breaths. And release. Bring the fingertips down to the floor. Tucking the back toes will open into a twist. The left hand can come up onto a block. Find Ujjayi breath here. Breath coming into the belly, the lower back, filling the rib cage, expanding the shoulders. Release your fingers to the floor and bring yourself up now into high lunge, tucking the back toes, and hands come back to that same place, one lower, one higher, and then just let your hands cradle your head here. You might switch whichever one was on the bottom last time, put that one on the top. And there's a little bit of lifting, like you're creating traction for your spine here. Receiving and giving. And we'll come down, releasing the hands to the mat. Step to downward facing dog. Drop your knees to the mat, set 4. If you'd like, you can do 7 push-ups. And for an alternative, come down to your elbows, tuck your toes, and we'll do 7 knee drops. So just tap and lift. So you've got options, push-ups or core. Be kind to yourself. And the next time the knees drop, press back again to child's pose. Take a pause. Reconnect to your breath. Shifting forward, let's bring the left foot to the top of the mat and move into the opposite side hip flexor. Take a moment. Feel your body here. Listen to its quiet whispers. And then bring the hands up to the thigh. And again, kind of check in and see if upright or forward serves your body better. Bring the hands to the back of the head, one low, one high. Gentle lift with your hands, but also just cradling the weight of your head. This bowling ball that's often forward and creating stress. Now we're doing the reverse, giving our body a chance to just be held and helped. Deep breaths here. As you release, fingers come to the floor, tuck the back toes and open into a twist. Left arm circles high. You can bring the right hand to a block if that helps you. Exaggerate your breath. 3-part breath. Pull the breath clear into the belly, the waist, the low back. Let your breath expand your rib cage, your collarbones. And as you exhale, empty all the way. Lower the hand. Steady yourself here. Find the foundation and then rise up. High lunge. Arms overhead. And then place your hands on the back of the head. If you can remember, switch the bottom and the top, elbows wide. Just let your head be held. Let your breath open the front of your body. Right here, right now. What is this? What's here? What's happening? In this space between this precious inhale and exhale. Release your hands, lower to the earth. Step back to downward facing dog. And we'll move to set number 5. Drop your knees. You can do yogi push-ups or join me on forearms. If you're doing forearms, you can interlace your hands for this one. We're going to come into dolphin and we're going to lift the legs right and left as one. So finding some glute, engaging your core. Low belly strong, neck loose. When you reach 7, drop your knees, settle back, child's pose. Coming back to downward facing dog. Raise your right leg high and step that foot between your thumbs. Let's turn the back foot open and lift into warrior 1. We're going to use our hands again, this energy of our hands. So root down through your feet, bring the hands in front of your chest, rub them together a few times. And then bring your hands around to your low back. So they're just below the waistband, almost on the glutes. Elbows pull in, press down with your hands, lift up with your chest. Let your hands here act as just healing energy for your low back. Support in this pose. Let your hands create space as your spine lifts up. As we return to center, hands down and then lift up overhead, windmill your arms out into wide straddle, all 10 toes to the side of the mat. Reach behind you, interlace, and let's dive forward. Head down, hands high. You can bend your knees if you like. Fill with breath. Empty breath out. Start to notice the space between the breaths. There's this magical floating space at the top and bottom of each breath. See if you can feel that. Hands to the mat, lengthen the spine, lift halfway. Turn toward the back edge of your mat, finding warrior one on the second side. Arms high, deep breath. Find your feet first, especially the outside of that back foot. Roll into that outer ankle. Hands come in front of the heart, rub them a few times, get some heat. And then place your hands just below your waistband, pressing down on your low back. Lift your chest. Hug the elbows back, let your chest push forward, breathe. Notice that space. Jon Kabat-Zinn is quoted as saying, if we are fully aware of the space between our breaths, then and only then are we fully alive. Inhale the arms up and open out again to the side. Take the feet wide, hands on the hips. All 10 toes point to the long edge of your mat. Hinge from your hips halfway down. And place your right hand right under your head. Open up the left. And this twist, notice what you feel in your body. Notice what's there in that space between breaths. And release, switch sides. And as we lower, I'm going to show you a fun way to learn and kind of cheat your chaturanga. We're going to keep our feet wide and walk our hands forward. So we're in this really wide plank pose. And I think you'll find if you've been doing chaturanga on your knees, I think you'll find you might be able to do them here a little more easily. So let's try 7. If that doesn't work for you, just stay in this wide plank pose. Maybe 1 inch chaturanga is all you need. Kind of a fun way to get to your toes. When you're done, come to the top of your mat once again. Drop the back heel, warrior one. Arms come behind, interlace, open the chest, and we'll dive into humble warrior. So we have a chest opener, we have a forward fold, a hamstring stretch, a hip opener. This is a powerful posture. Strength and humility. Bring them both here. Just lift your hands as high as you can and drop your head as low as you can. And release, come back to warrior one, deep breath. Open out warrior two, widen your stance. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, side angle. Arm comes all the way up over the ear. Stretch your side body as long as you can. Inhale, triangle. Top arm comes to the ceiling. Bottom leg straightens. Connect with your breath here. Notice the space, the depth. With that bend back in the knees, return to warrior two. Straighten that right leg, switch toward the back wall. Warrior one, scoop it up. Open, warrior two, take a little wider stance. Inhale, reverse warrior. Really nice, folks. Exhale, side angle. Arm comes all the way over the ear. Really deepen your lunge and expand your reach. That's it. Beautiful. Fingers straight up. Straighten the leg and open into Trikonasana. Fill yourself with breath. The space between your breaths, that's where all the magic happens. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Put a bend back in that knee, warrior two. Return to the center. Hands on your hips. One more time, forward fold. Any way you like, knees bent, knees straight, hands on the heels or out in front of you. It feel good to roll through the feet, work things out there. And then let's return to the front of our mat. One final set, downward facing dog. Shift forward into plank pose, yogi push-ups, or you can choose any of the previous things that we did. The knee drops, the swimming dolphin, the toe taps, knees into chest. You got 7 to go. And when you hit number 7 out loud, say, happy birthday, Julie Bush. And we'll all meet in child's pose. If you can, allow a little pressure to come to your forehead, roll it out side to side. Come into a tabletop position. And if this is hard for your wrist, this is one where you can go onto fists instead of flat hands. We're going to reach out left arm, right leg into a spinal balance. Belly strong. You can stay just like this. If you'd like a little more, bend the knee, lift the fingers, come up into sunbird. And a final offer is to reach back towards your foot and find a back bend here that really opens the front of the body. Put a little smile on your face. Find a pleasantness here. Release. Just switch sides. Right arm, left leg. Spinal balance. Or sunbird. Or a bind. Just listen to your body. Let your body help you choose. And as we release that, go ahead and come back to tabletop position. If you have knees that aren't happy knees, I need you to grab a pillow, a block, a blanket, something that you can sit on. We're going to come into hero pose. So hero pose is here, down on the heels, but not everyone's knees like that. So just a little bit of something under your hips might feel good to you to give you a little bit of support here. In this position, take a deep breath, arms overhead. Interlace your fingers and lift your fingers high. Pull up through your chest, arms back behind your ears. Deep breaths. Feel the length, feel the strength, feel the space. Let the arms slowly float down to your sides, and we're going to twist toward the right side. If you're just really uncomfortable kneeling, go ahead and take a seat instead. This position of the knees, though, you can think of it as like wringing out, cleansing out the junk that gets kind of caught in our joints. So if you can tolerate this with a little help, try. Otherwise, sit on your butt. And return to the other side. Deep, slow breaths. And let yourself come back to center. We'll bring the legs out. Come into butterfly, Baddha Konasana. Tall spine, and you can sit on a bolster or a block here if you like. We're just going to kind of bounce the legs out. After sitting on the knees, that should feel like it's kind of juicy and good. So 2 choices here. Pin your fingers under the bones of your feet and sit really tall. And that's just going to create a little gravity for your legs to drop down. Second option, press with your elbows and lean forward. So let's do either one of those two, straight back or forward lean, and not a big rounded back. Deep breaths. Having the spine elongated allows energy to flow and not get compressed. So imagine just that channel of energy from root through crown. Draw your knees together. Lower down onto your back. Once you get there, hug your knees into your chest. Literally give yourself a hug. Take one hand on each knee and just use your hands in a tender way. Maybe even just caress your knees, your shins with gratitude for the journey they've brought you on so far. Every scar tells a story. Every ache is just a testament to some place your body has been. Just acknowledge our bodies for their wisdom instead of being so hard on them when things aren't working. Take your feet to the floor and lift up into bridge pose. You can put something under your hips if you'd like a more gentle bridge. We'll be here for several breaths. If you'd like, you can interlace your fingers and start to walk your shoulders underneath you more. Exaggerate the breath. Close your eyes and find the space at the top of the breath and at the bottom of the breath. Find that beautiful, empty, quiet, still space. Receiving and offering. If you don't already have something under your hips, you can grab something now, if you like, for waterfall. Let your hips come softly onto a pillow or a block as the legs lift up in the air. Just bend and straighten a few times, just encouraging blood flow from feet down, and then settling into this inversion. Eyes closed, body relaxed. A true posture of surrender, just receiving, absorbing energy as it reverses. It defies, its normal gravity of head to feet. The face begins to soften. The jaw releases. You can soften your cheeks and your forehead. Relax the little muscles behind your eyes. Relax your ears. Even your nose. Slowly lower the feet back to the earth, removing any props and taking any final stretch or movement that your body wants on the way into final relaxation. You're welcome to throw a sweater on or a blanket, something to help you sit more comfortably. Lie more comfortably. As you come into Shavasana, I'd like you to enter this relaxation using a square breath. And a square breath is just picturing a square in your mind. You inhale, drawing a line up one side of a box. Hold the breath as you trace the top of the box. Exhale, tracing the line down. And hold the breath out as you draw the bottom of your box. So in your mind's eye, you can start with kind of a small square. And as you lie here longer and relax more, you might notice that your square starts to expand and those spaces between breaths get longer and larger. When your mind wanders, come back to this important work of doing nothing, of just breathing and drawing a square in your mind. Allow yourself to be aware of one more slow, square breath. And then begin in your way to come back to this space, to the room where you find yourself, and your surroundings. With your eyes still soft, begin to stretch and wiggle your way from your back to a seat. You find your seat, will you bring your hands back together in front of your chest, and let's one more time just create a little bit of heat in our palms. I'd like you to think of one word, something that you just want to receive right now in this moment. One thing that you want to feel, experience, or receive. And then bring those hands over your heart. Just bring that word into your heart and receive. And offer the same. Take it in and send it out. In the space between this inhale and this exhale, your life is happening. In the space between the first breath we took together at the beginning of this practice and the last breath we will let go together, our life is happening. In the first breath we took to the last one we give, life is happening. Let's bring our hands together in gratitude for that. Thank you all for joining me today. So much love, so much gratitude to you. Namaste.